Well, staying with this story, thousands of Eastern Cape pupils have not been fed since the start of the second term. This is due to apparent technical difficulties with payments. Equal Education Research Head is Mahfouz Raffee, and he joins us now. Mr. Raffee, good evening to you, and thank you very much for your time. As Equal Education, what do you know about pupils going hungry in the Eastern Cape and, let's say, KZN, given the clip we've just listened to from the service provider coming from that province?
Look, Polly, greetings to you and to your watchers. It's a really frustrating situation because this National School Nutrition Program has ring-fenced funding specifically for this purpose. And it's province's responsibility to ensure that that funding is used to feed schools. Many learners rely on this meal as their only meal of the day. We know the state of desperate poverty, especially in rural provinces, in rural areas in these provinces. And so it's really frustrating and unfortunate that thousands of learners have gone without meals in the second term. We hear the grievance in KwaZulu-Natal where service providers haven't been paid. And in Eastern Cape, we've received reports from numerous schools. And these schools were supposed to get a certain tranche coming in so that they could pay their service providers. It's a decentralized system, but this hasn't been done since the beginning of April. And so that's since the second term opened. And so for more than a month now, these learners have been denied their constitutional rights that are immediately realizable, constitutional rights to food and indeed to education as well, because many learners can't learn on a hungry stomach. Many learners, it encourages them or incentivizes them to drop out and to look for places where they can find food, because you can't survive without food.
Exactly.
And so this is a dire situation. It's very serious, and it's frustrating that it's not the first time that it's happening and that it's going on for so long once again.
Technical glitches are being blamed for what is happening. Are you going along with that story, or could there be more to it? Incompetence, the service provider is putting that as part of the equation as well.
Look, of course, I'm not privy to the precise details, but it is suspicious that technical glitches are only occurring in one province, right? Rather than all across the board. The other issue is that it's not the first time that this has happened. In the Eastern Cape, the issue of non-payment to schools happened in 2023 at exactly the same time, and it's likely that the scenario is very similar. In KZN, they've moved from one centralized supplier to still a centralized system, as far as I understand, just to numerous suppliers. And so it's frustrating that they haven't got this right when they've tried to change the system. What should be happening is indeed, as the service providers call for, consequence management and efficiency in government services to ensure that the rights of learners are protected. And after all, this is their responsibility. Yeah,
and I'm raising the matter of technical glitches being blamed for this. I'm doing so deliberately because a newspaper, or should I say a news article in News 24 today, suggesting that the Eastern Cape in particular had run out of quote-unquote surplus funds. So which of these stories is exactly true? Is it technical glitches, or have monies simply run out?
Sure, certainly, the surplus fund story does not carry water. That's it primarily because the funding for the National School Nutrition Program, as I highlighted earlier, is ring-fenced particularly for this program. It's dedicated in the budget and given to provinces. I did have a look at the circular that was referenced in the news article. That circular said that the surplus funds should last schools until the 18th of April at the latest. And so this is still more than 2 weeks later, in which there are no surplus funds. Those funds should have been given to schools by the education department, and there's no reason that no credible reason for it not to have been given. So I don't buy either the story of technical glitches at this juncture, nor do I buy the story of their running out of funds. I do ultimately think that the most reasonable conclusion we can come to is administrative incompetence.
Well, we're going to have to seek some answers here, but I want to thank you very much for your time and at least letting us in on what you know. That's Equal Education Research Head, Mahfouz Raffee. He is joining us there from Cape Town.